So a lot of countries are trying to ban social media for anyone under 16, but there's one thing that they always overlook. Welcome to The Know, where every other week we look into tech news and insight for everyday people like you and me. Number one, last week, OpenAI released ChatGPT for teens with safety guardrails and a focus on study for school. Through a mix of built-in age prediction systems or voluntary age declaration, teen users will automatically be placed into a teen account. Let's talk about it. OpenAI says that, quote, ChatGPT should not use romantic language, encourage emotional dependence, or imply that it has feelings or consciousness. I feel like using should not in the announcement seems to recognize that they can't fully guarantee its own guardrails. And while there are some parental controls, parents should know that they have zero access to conversations with the exception of, quote, rare cases where our systems and trained reviewers detect possible signs of serious safety concern. Parents may be notified, but only with the information needed to support their teens' safety. So we see this a lot with social media platforms where they really are trying to lock in kids and teens into an account that they hope they will have for a lifetime, especially, obviously when they move into adulthood. And they do it under this banner of privacy where parents really have no idea like who their kids and their teens are interacting with, what they're viewing. And now when it comes to AI, they're trying to do the same thing. They're following social media's playbook. So the question is, do we really trust OpenAI, ChatGPT, which is facing multiple lawsuits in cases involving child safety? Do we trust them, their system, or their team of reviewers for our kids and our teens' well-being? We always say with No Curtains, we're not trying to be prescriptive, but to give you perspective. So we don't want to tell you what to do, like whether or not you choose to let your kids and teens on certain devices or apps. That's something that families need to decide on their own. But one of the things that we do say is when you have those conversations, when you're deciding what to do with devices or apps for kids and teens, to separate privacy considerations. So have a conversation about offline privacy separately from online privacy, because there's a huge difference between letting our kids hang out with friends and having their own private conversations and jokes and whatever versus them interacting with a chatbot and having no idea what that back and forth is like. And the age span for interactions online is vastly different between a 13-year-old and a 17-year-old. So again, separate those privacy considerations when you're deciding what to do in your own home. This past weekend, the World Humanoid Robot Games kicked off in Beijing with sports competitions that included a 100-meter dash with robots that couldn't stop. Humanoid robotics is the likely evolution of AI in our lifetime. 40% of the events in Beijing required full autonomy. But honestly, leave the athletics to us humans and show us robots that can wash dishes or mow the lawn. TikTok will pay $400 million to settle a dispute with the U.S. Department of Justice, which alleged the social media platform violated child privacy laws by knowingly allowing underage users on its platform. The settlement comes 2 years after the civil lawsuit was first filed by the DOJ in 2024, during which time TikTok avoided a ban in the US by agreeing to an American-owned joint venture and implemented age detection features to weed out underage users. I think with this news, it shows us how difficult it is for lawmakers to keep up with the rapidly changing tech world. New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon is attempting to follow Australia's lead by introducing a bill to ban social media for anyone under 16. Luxon admitted, quote, "We won't get every child off social media. Some will always find ways around it, but frankly, it's just way too important not to at least try." As we stated when Australia passed its legislation, bans like these focus on keeping teens off of social media, but they do nothing to prepare them for when they're on it as adults, right? It's like just kicking the can down the road. And that's the kind of the void that we're trying to fill at No Curtains. That's why we created driver's training for the online world. And if you missed our last live webinar, we're running it back live on YouTube on Thursday, September 10th at 7 p.m. Central Time. Save the date, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share the details with friends. We'll go through each lesson in Module 1 of Driver's Training for the Online World in 60 minutes. The video, quiz, discussion questions, thought experiments, and action ideas. Driver's training for the online world is great for individuals, but for families, it's an amazing conversation starter and a great way of making decisions of how you're going to use tech as a family. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future content.